What's the most dangerous way someone tried to save money? I warned a nursing home owner his building would burn down, and he threw me out for trying to scam him. I'm an electrician with 15 years experience, and I was at this senior center replacing outlets in the dining room. When I opened the wall panel, I actually jerked my hand back because the wires were so hot they burned my fingers. Someone had twisted aluminum wiring directly onto copper fixtures, and the connection points had turned this nasty black color like burnt toast. You could smell it too, that sharp plastic burning smell that makes your nose itch. I knew right then we had maybe hours before this thing went up. That night was bingo night, and I kept picturing all those residents packed in one room with their walkers and wheelchairs jamming up the exits. My own grandmother used a walker. These people wouldn't stand a chance if this sparked while they were playing. I practically ran to the owner's office, my heart pounding because every second counted. Mr. Simmons was hunched over his desk counting a stack of 20s, and when I knocked and said it was urgent, he didn't even look up. Not now, I'm busy. I stepped inside anyway. When I told him his building was about to burn down, he finally glanced up with this annoyed expression, like I'd interrupted something important. My hands were shaking as I pulled out my phone to show him photos of the scorched wiring, and he gave them maybe half a second before waving me off. My nephew rewired that section last month. He's studying engineering. The dismissive way he said it, like some kid taking classes, knew better than my 15 years of experience, made my face burn. I tried explaining that aluminum and copper expand at different rates, that the connections were already failing, but he went back to counting money. I walked around his desk and put the phone right in front of him, and that's when he got angry. Back up now. His voice had this edge that made me step back, but I kept talking. I told him we had maybe hours before 80 elderly residents would be trapped in a burning building during bingo. He leaned back and gave me this smile that made my skin crawl. Let me guess, you can fix it for what, 500, 1,000? When I said $50, just $50 in parts, he actually laughed. Sure, 50 today, 500 tomorrow. I pulled out the piece of wire that was still warm and held it toward him with my trembling hand, but he pushed his chair back like I was holding something diseased. I'm not touching your props. I was getting desperate, and my voice cracked when I told him his insurance wouldn't cover him if he ignored a documented hazard. That's when he stood up real slow, unfolding all 6'3" of himself, and I felt like a child about to be punished. Are you threatening me? No, I'm trying to save lives. I actually shouted it, and he picked up his phone. Carl, get up here, now. While we waited, I dropped to my knees. I'm not proud of it, but I begged him to let me fix it for free. He was already calling other facilities, loudly telling them about the scam artist electrician trying to shake him down. When Carl arrived, this mountain of a guy, Simmons pointed at me on the floor. Get him out, he's trespassing. Carl's grip hurt as he yanked me up, and I was still begging as he dragged me out. Please, just check the wiring yourself. Simmons followed us to the hallway where residents in wheelchairs were watching. You're done in this business. Every facility in the state will know you're a fraud. The way he said it loud enough for everyone to hear, the way the residents looked at me with fear, it was the most humiliating moment of my life. I found Dorothy, the head nurse, by the service door and gave her my work order showing all the problems. I begged her to move bingo to the front room away from the dangerous wiring. She saw how scared I was and nodded. I parked across the street that night, watching and waiting. Around 7:45, the lights started flickering and then black smoke poured from the vents. I called 911 while the fire alarm screamed. Dorothy was already wheeling residents out the front door. Orange flames burst through the roof where the dining room was. Simmons pulled up in his BMW just in time to watch his office burn with all his cash inside. The state investigator called 3 days later. Dorothy had given him my work order, and the fire marshal confirmed the aluminum-copper connection failed exactly where I documented. Simmons's nephew had dropped out of college and wasn't qualified at all. Insurance denied his claim for ignoring a documented warning, so he owed $2 million. All 80 residents survived because Dorothy moved bingo. Simmons tried blaming me for sabotage, but my documentation cleared me. They arrested him for criminal negligence 2 weeks later.